Sydney Moore here with Tim Buckley and Julie Luck. And as you can see, there's Mr. Eric Chilton there at our summer blood drive. We're going to get to him in just a moment. Eric, how you doing out there?
Good. We're all good.
Good, awesome.
See, he's wearing red. He's ready for the blood drive.
He's ready.
Right? Mm-hmm. He is dressed appropriately. Chili, we're going to see you in just a moment. We'll check in with you. But of course, Tim Buckley is front and center. There's a reason for that because we all know it. We are all feeling it, and that is the heat.
Summer heat, right? Yeah, I'm inside. Glad to be inside right now. And we got to talk about these temperatures. They're up there in a big way for today. I'm expecting this afternoon to be our hottest of the year so far. Now, for a little context, yesterday we hit 93 officially, anyway, at Greensboro PTI Airport. Today we're at 93 again so far, and there's still a little ways to go. I think we'll sneak up to 94 and make it that official hottest day. Numbers across the area, and you'll notice no real relief when it comes to shade. We have lots of blue sky, some scattered clouds, and no storms at this time. But here are the numbers across the area. The big number in white, that's the air temperature. The smaller number, that's the feels like, and that is a real thing. Your skin can't cool down that well when it's so humid outside. So right now it feels like 102 degrees in Burlington, feels like 100 in Reedsville, and it feels like 98 degrees in Winston-Salem. Take it easy. We do have a little bit of a breeze, not much, but there is some. The air is slightly moving around. And again, the radar is quiet, so no relief from Mother Nature here. I want to emphasize how hot it'll be for the rest of the evening. Even at 9 p.m., it'll still be 86 degrees. At 1 in the morning, it will be 80 degrees. It's that kind of heat, okay? So we're still stifling tomorrow. Take a look at these numbers. Again, the orange one is the heat index, the actual air temperature in the white. We'll have a forecast 95 for tomorrow afternoon, but it will feel like the 100s yet again. Definitely take it easy and use caution if you have to be outside for a while. And we do deal with this every year, but not all the time, so be careful. Mid-90s continue for Saturday. We'll have a good chance of storms Saturday afternoon and evening that could cool you down from time to time.
All right, Tim, thank you. And I mean, this heat is already causing some cancellations in the Triad. The city of Greensboro postponed its croquet in the garden event planned for tomorrow. They say it's just too hot and the event will be rescheduled in the fall. And if you're looking for ways to stay cool this summer, pools and spray grounds are open all across the Triad. The Salvation Army in Greensboro has a cooling station open on weekdays. And earlier this week, Winston-Salem opened its community centers and cooling stations for people trying to beat the heat.
The heat scorching the west and the south is now being felt in parts of the northeast. Today, President Biden announced new measures to help communities deal with the soaring temperatures. Bradley Blackburn explains how the relief will work.
With extreme temperatures threatening tens of millions of Americans, President Biden is taking action.
Help is here, and we're going to make it available to anyone who needs it.
The president is directing the U.S. Labor Department to ramp up protections for people working outside in the unrelenting heat.
The acting Secretary of Labor will work with her team to intensify enforcement, increasing inspections in high-risk industries like construction and agriculture.
Last week, a 25-year-old farm worker and father of two died in Yuma amid the record heat wave in Arizona.
It's really important for employers to think a little bit more deeply about the conditions and what they're asking people to do.
Firefighters in Minneapolis, Minnesota, trying to stay cool themselves, have been on high alert.
If it's someone that's really in need of help, then we're there.
Heat advisories and warnings are up along the East Coast, with temperatures here in New York City expected to feel like over 100 degrees.
It is essential that all New Yorkers stay cool.
City officials have opened cooling centers across the 5 boroughs and plan to keep public pools open an extra hour.
This is not our first heat wave. And with climate change accelerating, it won't be our last.
Climate experts project this July to be the hottest month ever recorded on the planet.
The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived.
The United Nations is calling on global leaders to step up, warning the time for action is now. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A former Triad pastor faces several charges for inappropriate behavior at the Piedmont Triad Farmers Market in Colfax. Guilford County deputies say 71-year-old Ivan Peden committed 2 sex offenses, once earlier this month and once last month. He faces 4 charges, including felony indecent liberties with a child and felony indecent exposure. Deputies arrested him last night. The Western North Carolina Conference confirmed that he was a reverend with United Methodist Church, but retired in 2020. The farmers market issued this statement. Part of it reads, "The well-being and comfort of our customers and vendors are of utmost concern to us, and we have taken measures to ensure an enjoyable environment here at the farmers market." Hear from one of the alleged victims who says the former pastor groped him in a bathroom. That's coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock.
Officials say a Lexington man drowned at High Rock Lake. It happened over the weekend at the Buttle Creek access area. The Davidson County Sheriff's Office says 29-year-old Kyle Moberly went fishing last Saturday when friends say he tried to swim to the other side of the cove. When he didn't return, rescue teams were sent to the search area. Moberly's body was found on Monday, 2 days after he disappeared.
Greensboro and Guilford County leaders will meet with the feds tomorrow for an update about the Greensboro Piedmont Academy. The former American Hebrew Academy will soon be the temporary home for hundreds of migrant teens who enter the U.S. alone. We've seen a lot of activity at the sprawling Hobbs Road facility recently. That facility is slated to start housing teens next month. The federal government bought that former school a few years ago.
Demolition is underway on the failed Panthers headquarters and practice facility in Rock Hill. A demolition contractor was on site earlier this week. The group says it will take up to 6 months to finish demolition. Now, this comes after the deal to make the $800 million facility fell through last year. The 245-acre property is being torn down to make way for a future office and commercial space. And since we are talking about the Panthers, day 2 of training camp is in the books. Today, we caught up with a Triad alum who just signed with the team this offseason. WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson joins us live from practice after speaking to him.
The Carolina Panthers back on the football field for practice earlier this morning here in Spartanburg. After practice, I caught up with someone very familiar to the Triad, a new guy on the team, defensive tackle Shy Tuttle. Shy, a North Davidson Black Knight playing for the Carolina Panthers. What's it like to be able to play for this hometown team?
Oh man, it's a cool experience, you know. Had dreams of doing this growing up. Me and my brothers, we talked about it, so it's definitely a surreal feeling sometimes.
When you decided to come here, what were those conversations like with your brothers?
It was like, they didn't believe me at first until they seen it was official, and then they're like, oh man, we get to see you play most of the times of the year, 8 times a year, so it was definitely a dope experience.
Aside from being the hometown team, what else drew you to Carolina?
I mean, they were very interested in me, and like, as a kid, who wouldn't want to play for their hometown team? Like, you know, it was an easy decision, to be honest with you.
How has training camp been for you playing in this heat here in Spartanburg?
Well, to be honest, I come from New Orleans. I feel like it's way more humid there, so it ain't that bad. Of course, we're only 2 days into it, so it's still early. Y'all come back in like a week 2, I'll let you know for sure.
What is the most surprising thing on your playlist if we were to listen to your music?
Surprising, I say I got a song from Blood Orange. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's like, I forgot the name of it. Some Blood Orange. That's definitely probably most surprising.
If there was a movie about your life, what would the title of it be?
That's a tough one. Dang. It'd be called Shy, because I'm shy.
As far as practice went today, head coach Frank Reich said the beginning of it was, quote, crisp. The second half fell flat. The team did practice longer today than they did yesterday.
Amanda, thank you. From blood orange to giving blood. Happening right now, the WFMY News 2 Summer Blood Drive is underway at Piedmont Hall in Greensboro. We have collected dozens of pints so far, and a lot more is needed. You still have a couple of hours left to head out there to donate. WFMY News 2's Eric Chilton joins us live there. Eric, you met some people who are making a difference.
Yeah, you know, we loved it. I love when we come out here and we talk to the people that are donating and taking their time. By the way, summertime, according to all the Red Cross folks I've spoken with, summertime is when donations go down. So it's needed even more than other times of the year. Our holiday blood drive always does really well. This is one where we need you to come out. Now, a lot of folks out in the area, yes, they have come by and donated their time and their blood, but we found a mother-daughter duo. The mom has been donating for decades, and she decided to pass it down. Take a listen.
I've been donating blood for about 30 years now. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because I feel the need of giving back. You never know when you might be in need, somebody might be in need. I started giving through my employer. So after that, I started doing it on my own. So my daughter's here with me today, her first time giving. So she decided she wanted to come and give up, do her part, saving the community one pint at a time.
This is my first time donating blood, and I'm out here because I want to help people out there in need. I feel like it's important to be able to donate blood because you can help someone that you never thought you would help. And so I'm all about helping people in my community and giving out blood to anybody who feels like, who may in need of it.
So they have this really neat section over here. We're going to take you over there, so I'm not even going to point to it right now. I'm going to keep it for a surprise. They have an area that they said, this is our selfie area. So when you come out to donate blood, if you come out with a friend or a family member or gather some people from work, really cool places. They call it Camp Do Good, and it's right back over here behind me. So we're going to show you that a little bit later on in the show.
Well, looking forward to that, Eric. Thank you. And don't miss this. Back in May, the FDA updated its guidelines regarding who can donate blood in the United States. They eliminated a decades-old rule stemming from the AIDS crisis that prohibited men who have sex with men from donating. The finalized guidelines pose the same questions to every donor, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. We'll be right back. So a lot of people are still talking about all of the Twitter changes. Users have strong opinions about Elon Musk's decision to change the app's name and logo to X.
Yeah, I don't even recognize it anymore. Well, some claim the rebrand may not go far because Microsoft and Meta already own the trademark of X. Here's what our Verify team found out.
Our Verify team checked with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and Professor Robert Brownice. We found that yes, both Microsoft and Twitter's biggest rival have trademarks for the letter X, but they're not alone. The Patent and Trademark Office has granted dozens of trademarks to dozens of companies to use X. Some are for selling life insurance, some are for clothing, and another is for a protectant used by car washes. And Brown Ice, who teaches trademark law at George Washington, says trademarks are limited to the company's specific product or service.
So if I decided to call my soup X, that would not prevent a book publisher from deciding to call their book publishing company X, because consumers don't think that a soup company has just gone into the book publishing business.
Brown Ice added that Microsoft and Meta shut down the joint service their trademarks applied to, so that opens the door wider for Twitter and its name change.
So here is another issue. While the bird logo is now gone, the term tweet may be here to stay, or at least for right now. For one, the word is still plastered all over the site, formerly known as Twitter. If you write a post, you still need to press a blue button that says tweet to publish it. And then to repost it, you still have to tap retweet.
So I asked you all on Facebook about all the changes and what you think. Russell joked they now call a tweet a zeet. Interesting. And Larry says, I'm not on Twitter or whatever it is now, so it doesn't matter to me. Aaron said, to be honest, I think we are seeing the downfall of the app, especially with new apps similar to Twitter growing in popularity. But while I don't want to deal with the shenanigans, Twitter, or X as it's now called, it's pure comedy. Yeah, I'm lost for words. X is just, it's interesting to me.
It's confusing.
It is confusing because if you have this brand loyalty, right? If it's known as Twitter and then here you are just changing it.
Sure.
That's pretty tough to digest. And not only that, I'm just thinking X, it's not very welcoming. It feels very like,
and the black behind it just feels kind of dark. And I'm all about, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I haven't seen a lot of people really saying Twitter needs all of these different changes.
And here's the thing, Tim is the master of Twitter. Really,
I don't want to be known as the master of X. That just sounds weird.
But the thing is, like, so you are a tweeter, whatever, X's or whatever they're calling. But what are your thoughts on all the changes?
A lot of people always talk about the negatives of Twitter, or it's negative. Or there are a lot of positives for me as a weather person. When there's severe weather, it is my best way to get with the viewers, to get pictures in, to know what's going on. It's great for news gathering, all that stuff. And with all the new changes, I think it's disrupting things. It is making it a little harder, and people are leaving. And so
I was just about to get to that point. Yeah.
And I know they want to turn a profit because he bought it and it's not making much money, so they want to get a better profit. I get that, but I'm not sure if that's the way to do it. You wouldn't buy Coke and change the flavor and change the name. It's weird to me.
Yeah, because sometimes people don't want to have to learn all of these ways to navigate an app. They just want to keep it standard.
It rubs me the wrong way. It's very strange. So.
Can I get my blue check back, please?
See you on Facebook.
We'll be right back. Sit.
Happening right now in Greensboro, here is a live look at our WFMY News 2 Summer Blood Drive going on at Piedmont Hall. Hello there. We've teamed up with the American Red Cross, which is in desperate need of donations. You have about 2 hours left to head out there to roll up your sleeves and meet these fine folks out there. All you have to do is show up, but you must be 17 to donate or 16 with a parent. Our Eric Chilton is also there. We're going to be checking back in with him in about 10 minutes from now.
After you go to the blood drive, maybe you can treat yourself and go to the ballpark downtown. We have first pitch at 6:30 tonight. Now, I think one of the busiest jobs in the Triad this evening will be slinging drinks and ice cream out of the park because boy is it hot. 93 degrees for that first pitch temperature, but it will cool a little bit. By the end of things, it'll still be in the upper 80s. They do have those real big fans out there, though. I've stood under them myself right by the concession area. We have 90s, of course. These are the high temperatures so far today. Remember, a lot of times our high temperature this time of year happens at 5 or sometimes even 6 p.m. We're at 93 so far in Greensboro, 95 Burlington, 95 in Lexington. It's a hot summer day, and this is, in recent years, kind of the hottest that we usually get is mid or upper 90s with a lot of the humidity. When it's so humid outside, it's very hard to get close to 100. They're doing it, though, in the middle of the country. That's where we see some of the hottest weather, and that is where our weather is coming from. No relief from rain for today, but I think by tomorrow, or I'll tell you, by tomorrow, we'll start to see a couple of downpours popping up in the afternoon. Same goes for Saturday. We have this front kind of rescuing us by the end of the weekend. That will touch off some storms, but it'll also bring some relief from the heat. Take a look. It's not that obvious on Sunday, but by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we do not call that a heat wave anymore. That's for sure. That's just regular summer around here. Upper 80s from Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. If you do have weekend plans, you'll need to be a little flexible in the afternoons. There will be some scattered storms.
Ooh, are you feeling lucky?
Yes.
Well, It is my last name, so.
I don't even know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Okay, but maybe not lucky that way, but I know that you're hoping that you are, because tomorrow night you have another shot at becoming filthy, stinking rich. The Mega Millions jackpot is now at 910 million smackaroos.
Wow, well, it's the 5th largest prize in the game's history, but if you win the jackpot, would you want everyone to know? Our National Verified team looks into if you can stay anonymous if you hit it big.
Verify here with your Fast Fact. There's a lot of money at stake in the upcoming lottery jackpot, and many of you emailed us asking, can you stay anonymous if you win? Our sources are the state lottery commissions, Powerball, and Mega Millions. Powerball and Mega Millions are played in nearly every state. They all require you to provide identifying information to claim your prize, but each state then makes its own rules about whether to release the winner's name to the public. If you win the Powerball or Mega Millions jackpot, these 17 states will keep your information private if you'd like. But that doesn't mean you're out of luck everywhere else. For example, Colorado only releases the winner's first name and the first initial of their last name. Other states, like Florida or Arkansas, wait a few months or years to reveal the winner's name. And some states have loopholes that allow you to claim through a trust or LLC, which lets you hide your real name. Some states also have exemptions for victims of stalking or domestic violence. With your Fast Fact, I'm Brandon Lewis.
All right, well, if nobody wins Friday's drawing, the jackpot could hit $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
Okay, $1 million. Billion.
All right.
And that's by next week. So I got some trivia for you, too. Are you in the trivia mood?
Do we have a choice?
Sure, yeah.
I don't think so. I was going to say, our producer would say you don't have a choice.
Here we go.
All right, so question number 1. In what year do you think the last jackpot winner was selected here in North Carolina?
Oh, gosh.
I remember there was that huge one, remember, in South Carolina? Do you remember? You know?
Oh, we loved it. We love to see it. Okay.
I say 2003. It's just a guess.
You're a little
I have no idea.
Little ways. No.
We're going to have
What
to
do
leave
you
it up
say?
to you.
Okay, 2011.
All right.
2011, yes.
So it's been a bit.
So the Jones family in Greenville basically split the $113 million jackpot with a group from California.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got one more question for you. In what year was the last jackpot winner selected here in Greensboro?
Oh, my gosh.
You know what? You got it. You said you're going to buy a new car. It's you. You're the winner.
Oh, yeah?
I'll give you a hint. It's
Gotta buy a
close
ticket.
to 2011. That's the only hint I can give you.
2010.
Yes!
Really? Do you remember? I don't remember this.
She just gave me the clue. I was just
Wow.
listening.
But you did good. So basically in 2010, the man's name was Mike Manheim, excuse me. He won $12 million.
Ooh,
Yeah.
where's he now?
I need to find him so we can do lunch and he can give me some tips or
Oh, yeah?
something.
Or
You
maybe
know?
get a
somewhere
free
nice.
lunch.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, because he.
Wonder how much is
no.
left.
I don't know.
Right.
He's
I don't
still
know.
playing. I'm not too
That's
sure.
right. We'll be right back.
All right.
To do. So. And did you move? Where did you? Yeah, I'm here, man. I wish you were here.
What's up, Brad? It's Jalen. Mic check. Jalen, 1, 2, 3. On the way to the studio.
An interview, and if I don't know if you want to throw a super in, but his name is Wes Haynes. It's Haines. Oh, sorry, Haynes with the Red Cross. You don't have to do a title, just do Red Cross. And we have Wes, WES. We have owner of Felt Hot Dog. No, you're employed by the Red Cross, right? Yeah, just. Yeah, the title will probably take up too much space. It's the American Red Cross.
Well, welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Sydney Moore, joined alongside Julie Luck.
Hello, everyone. So glad to be here.
Absolutely, and Eric Chilton is right there behind us over there at our summer blood drive. How is it going?
So look, I don't know if you knew this, but where we are right now is called, it's like a selfie spot, right? It's a spot you're coming out here, you're helping to save lives, you're doing a good thing, so they call it Camp Do Good. Wes Haynes with the Red Cross here. I love this whole motif. It's like a camping motif here, right?
Absolutely. It's just another way to try to make it fun to come out here and save some lives.
So what are people doing? Are they coming over and doing the selfie thing and that?
You definitely got a couple people that see this and see the opportunity to have a little fun, and they put it on their social media, state what they're doing. It's just a way to share what they're doing.
And you said the Camp Do Good theme is kind of a thing that you've been doing, what, over the last few summers, or how has that gone?
Yeah, for the last 2 summers, the American Red Cross has kind of given a Camp Do Good theme over all the stuff that they do, and WFMY and us have really embraced it for our summer blood drive.
So let's talk about that. You and I chatted earlier in the day about the need, because people think that, you think about natural disasters, you always think of the Red Cross, but the rest of the time is when you really need the blood.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is every day someone needs blood. We use the statistic every 2 seconds someone's in the U.S. is going to need blood, and that's absolutely true. It's the mamas giving birth. It's the children with cancer. It's patients with sickle cell disease. Those patients are going to need blood no matter what time of the year it is. And one of the biggest challenges that we run into is during the summertime. Schools aren't open, so we're not running there. Businesses don't have as many people in there, so we can't get as much blood out of there. So doing these big community blood drives, partnering with you all, really do make a big difference.
All right, so we're going to take advantage of our felt fire here and roast our felt hot dogs and s'mores. Back to you guys.
All right, you stay cool inside. That's the spot to be. If you're outside, you're sweating a little bit. That's for sure. It's hot for today. In fact, today, one of the hottest days of the year so far. We might beat it yet again going into tomorrow and Saturday. We're kind of in the middle of this heat wave now. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday should kind of cap it off for us. Here's where we stand currently. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. I know your car says it's probably 157 degrees or something, but it is 94, 93, 95 across our area. It does feel warmer than that because of the humidity. We have a heat index around 100, so you got to take it easy. There's a little bit of a breeze that can help so much on a day like today, just moving the air around a little bit. If you're in the shade, that can help quite a bit. Not much on radar. I don't expect any showers or storms for the rest of the evening. But what I'll tell you, it's still hot for a while. We're around 83 at 11 o'clock this evening and 80 at 1 in the morning. It is steamy, to say the least. So where do we go from here? This is tomorrow. Read it and weep. Kind of tough. Mid-morning, we're already in the low 80s by 9 a.m., mid-90s by the afternoon, feeling like triple digits. That goes not just for Friday, but also for Saturday too. In fact, we will start to see a couple storms popping up tomorrow afternoon, but especially Saturday. I think Saturday afternoon and evening, there will be several storms on the radar, which could cool you off, but a couple might also have a downpour or damaging wind gust or two. Sunday, we'll start to wrap it up with the heat and then go into next week on a much more typical note as we head into the Wyndham.
Tim, thank you. Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. U.S. lawmakers have introduced a new bill to protect workers from the heat. It's called Uncinun Valdivia Heat Illness, Injury, and Fatality Prevention Act. It's named after a worker who died from heat stroke while picking grapes in 105-degree temperatures. Under the new legislation, OSHA would be required to issue a heat standard sooner than its normal process. This would affect jobs providing heat prevention training, water shade, and planning.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he is fine after freezing mid-sentence during a press conference. The 81-year-old Kentucky senator suddenly stopped talking during his weekly press conference for nearly 20 seconds. He was escorted away by colleagues before returning a few minutes later to answer reporters' questions. His aide said he felt lightheaded and stepped away for a moment.
Low-dose aspirin may not be as helpful in preventing strokes as previously thought. A study published in JAMA Network Open found older people who took aspirin daily didn't see a lower stroke risk. The study also found daily aspirin use actually increased the risk of skull or brain bleeding. The authors say low-dose aspirin shouldn't be prescribed to healthy adults for stroke prevention.
It's the last media day for ACC college football. The 3-day event wrapped up today. Day 1, we heard from ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips. Day 2, we heard from Duke's football program. And today, WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey has the ACC season outlook for the rest of our North Carolina teams.
It was a busy day in Charlotte as 3 of our North Carolina ACC schools took their turn at the podium to speak to the media because, believe it or not, we are just 35 days from kickoff of the college football season. Players and coaches from North Carolina, Wake Forest, and NC State were the focus of the day as we caught up with guys from all 3 squads to talk about their goals for the upcoming 2023 season.
It's always just that new challenge, getting to see what this year's team's made of, getting to see who has put work in the offseason, and, also just getting back out there with the guys. We love doing it, so being back out there is always fun.
For this season's team, every single season we go into, we're looking to win a national championship, an ACC championship, and the goal is never less than that. We're looking to win every single game that we play.
It's a whole new year. It's a whole new opportunity to do something great, do something special. I think that's, the most exciting thing. And I think, in this season in particular, going into my 4th year, probably going to be my last, just that part in itself is very exciting to me.
Now here's a look at the season openers for our local ACC schools. Wake Forest will host Elon Thursday, August 31st. State is also in action on the 31st as they visit UConn. North Carolina, they take on South Carolina September 2nd in Charlotte, while Duke kicks off Monday, September 4th at home against Clemson.
And did you see the news about College Game Day? ESPN's iconic college football show is kicking the season off right here in North Carolina. The crew will be in Charlotte for the Duke's Mayo Classic at Bank of America Stadium. And as Jalen said, the Tar Heels will be taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks to open the season. The 3-hour show will be at Romare Bearden Park. And this is Game Day's first appearance in North Carolina since visiting App State last fall. The appearance in the Queen City will mark College Game Day's 440th episode and the first for a North Carolina versus South Carolina matchup. And North Carolina hasn't been featured on ESPN shows since 2010, so that's pretty exciting for fans out there.
My question for you, Sydney, is will you be at that game?
I will be at that game.
Sydney is a huge fan.
Yeah, I am.
And the thing is about College Game Day, even if you're not a fan, you can't help but get pumped up.
I know.
That atmosphere, just the cheering, and just having all those big names, and watching Lee Corso, which mascot head is going to put on, right?
Excellent.
You just wait for that moment.
That's right. It's like a nostalgic moment for me. Growing up playing Pee Wee youth football, you'd wake up Saturday morning early before your game and watch College Game Day just to see what's going on, get all the news from around the nation, and just kind of hope one day that you'll be featured on there, be able to partake. And so now we get our chance, and I can't wait to get down to Charlotte.
Yeah, College Game Day, they make it such a great experience for the fans. The atmosphere, it's electric. They really do. So
even if if you don't root for that team, even if you are just a
Gotta
regular college football fan, you watch that because you get amped up for the rest of the day because you are glued to the TV.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Can't
only
wait.
came to Berkeley. That never happened.
Well, football,
never say never.
Football not your strong suit.
Never say never.
Ow, that hurts.
It's okay.
My
It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
True.
We'll be back.
Here you go, Jalen. Okay, I need some participation involved
Okay,
here.
okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl.
Okay, Julie, vocals?
No.
Vocals.
How about you?
Let's get, oh, I'm shy.
Come on, Barbie.
When it
let's
comes
go
to singing, I'm so shy.
Okay, how about we just focus on the movie?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do that. As you know, if you've been living under a rock, you know that Barbie, the movie, it's taking Hollywood by storm.
That's right. In the first weekend at the box office, the movie made a record $155 million. But is it news to approved? Our Manning Franks has your official movie review.
Hey, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hey, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, audience. Since her creation back in 1959, Barbie has been an evident cultural touchstone. Yet whenever you hear that a toy or a product is getting the feature film treatment, you begin to question, is this just another product placement? Well, I'm here to declare to you, my dear Barbies, Kens, and Allens, Greta Gerwig's Barbie is so much more than just a giant commercial. In fact, it's one of the best movies of the year.
Diamonds under my eyes.
This is the best day ever.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
Everything in Barbie Land is perfect. Each Barbie that lives there has their perfect dream job and dream house, but when the so-called stereotypical Barbie begins to have messy hair, flat feet, and thoughts of death, it sends her spiraling. In an attempt to fix her self-proclaimed flaws, Barbie, with the help of her bestie Ken, traverses from Barbie Land to the real world to find a way to fix her seeming imperfections.
Did you bring your rollerblades?
I literally go nowhere without them.
Barbie, as a product by Mattel, has a wide variety of perceptions from negative to positive, but ultimately it is Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie's deeply honest embracing of that variance that makes this movie sparkle. Writer-director Gerwig expertly mixes both heart and humor into an effortlessly pink parade of whimsy that's bound to inspire women and men of all ages. Its resoundingly deep themes that examine gender dynamics and the plight of womanhood in a patriarchal society are refreshingly sincere and wonderfully creative. Even taking away Gerwig's steady vision, this is a movie that rarely misses a Barbie beat. From its self-referential soundtrack to its bright production design of Barbie Land, Barbie is a triumph in every way. Margot Robbie, who also serves as a producer, is the grounded heart and soul of the film. She gives Barbie layers that go beyond her plastic frame, a true career-defining role. Not to be outshone, though, Ryan Gosling's sheer embodiment of Ken will be studied for years to come. Without question, Gosling gives one of the finest comedic performances of the decade. The Barbie film is a true cultural phenomenon that has gripped American audiences in a way unseen since other big IP films like The Avengers or Star Wars. It shows that audiences are truly hungry to go to the theaters to see a film that is both equally smart and equally silly. Unsurprisingly, this Barbie is giving Barbie a 2 approved. You can watch her and Ken only in theaters.
So Manning, hats off to you in the beginning when he did the hey Barbie, and the change of outfits, because it reminded me on social media when I would see folks going out and to see the movie, people would walk by random folks and just say, hey Barbie, hey Ken, and folks knew to have that type of interaction.
I think he'd make a good Ken. What do you think?
Hey.
He could be one of the Kens.
There it is.
Well, he's got the attire going on, right?
I know.
And the thing about Barbie, I mean, it is becoming such a cultural phenomenon. When you see people going to these movies, they get all dressed up. It's almost like looking at somebody who's going to a Taylor Swift concert.
That's true. That's a good way to put it.
They get so amped up and getting all decked out. It's an experience.
I love it. I love it.
You gonna go see it?
I am. And you can I
saw it?
I'm the only boy here, and I saw the movie, and y'all didn't.
I think
Isn't that crazy?
everyone should go see Barbie.
It was very funny. I will say it's very funny. It's very silly, but there's some good messages in there and stuff too.
That's what I heard.
It was more of a real movie than I expected it to be.
Is it more an adult movie, or can kids see this, or you're more?
I think it's rated PG-13, and you can kind of act accordingly. I think.
All right. Got to wear the pink then.
Right,
of course. News to approved.
And the boa.
Kens, yes.
And we'll be back.
What's up, Ken? You know, Ken has no house, by the way.
Happening right now, you have a chance to help save lives. WFMY News 2 is hosting a summer blood drive right now at Piedmont Hall in Greensboro, and you still have time to head out there to roll up your sleeves.
Well, Eric Chilton has been out there all day helping with donations. How is it going?
Yeah, you know, it's been great, although I'm going to say this, they're only about 60% of where they want to be for their goal. So you still have time, obviously, to get out here. The doors don't close until 6 o'clock. Interesting stat that I heard earlier, I'd never heard this before. Every 2 seconds, somebody in our country needs blood for some sort of a reason. So even in just the time we've been talking, 10 people need blood. So come out here if you can. They'll close the doors at 6, but we are here much more ahead on WFMY News 2 at 5 and 6 from the blood drive.
Eric, thank you very much. Before we go, here's 3 things you need to know. If you still want to donate today, you will need a blood donor card, driver's license, or 2 forms of ID. Donors must be at least 17 or 16 years old with a parent to donate. You also must weigh at least 110 pounds and be in good health. And lastly, donors can also save up to 15 minutes at the blood drive by completing a rapid pass. You can find details and instructions on our website.
Law enforcement in North Carolina is now using new technology to crack down on drivers who are illegally using their cell phones. The State Highway Patrol is now using artificial intelligence along with cameras to find and catch distracted truck drivers. The goal is to save lives and make interstates safer. The Highway Patrol bought these 3 heads-up devices from an Australian company. Here's how it works. The cameras will take pictures through the windshields of commercial vehicles. AI will be able to determine if the driver was holding a phone or not wearing a seatbelt. It will then report the violators to troopers. Law enforcement will be stationed nearby so they can stop those drivers when they are alerted. The drivers could get a $100 fine. So here's what you need to know. The technology will only be used for commercial drivers. State law requires truck drivers to have their hands free at all times. Lastly, the photos taken by the devices will not be shared with other law enforcement agencies. Yeah. All right, so AI getting involved with law enforcement. I was thinking about this, right, with AI. How about an invention to have people actually use their blinkers or slow down or not tailgate?
You know, a self-driving car should do all of those things.
Goodness
in
gracious.
theory.
In theory.
But we're not comfortable with that either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this. I mean, as AI continues to evolve, we're going to start seeing more and more things that it's going to be able to help and assist with. But yeah, this is an interesting thing and a way to continue to keep the community safe.
I know we're all supposed to say we all follow the law and everything's great. We're gonna have nothing to worry about, but it's a little creepy. I just think it's a little creepy.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's
Like
interesting.
the speeding cameras in itself kind of creep me out, but this is a whole different level.
I know. All right, I'll do the speed limit. Don't worry.
Yes, you're a responsible driver.
Thank you. I'll agree with you. No one here to dispute it. We are looking at mid-90s right now. These are your current temperatures. Very hot and toasty outside. And coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get a refresh on these numbers to see if we have hit the hottest of the year. Quick flash of the 7-day. We're going to dive into this more at 5 o'clock. The heat wave will continue for Saturday heading into this weekend. There will be scattered storms that start to pop up Saturday afternoon and a little bit into Sunday. So what we'll be looking at for the next couple of days will be more heat. It still does feel like close to 100 degrees at times for your Friday, Saturday, but by Sunday it starts to break up a little bit. We'll still have a couple storms out there, and then into next week, that's when things kind of just start to go back to normal a little bit. What I mean, upper 80s, feeling more typical for this time in the month of July.
On a hot day like today, many people will head here to the pool to cool off, but public pools are getting harder to find across the country. Let's connect the dots. In many places, America has stopped building public pools, and it all comes down to funding. Amid inflation and instability in city and county budgets, parks and rec departments are often the first to see cuts, major lifeguard shortages, and less money for expensive maintenance for pools. And it means more than just missing out on summer fun. As temperatures hit triple digits across the country, public pools offer a safe and affordable place to escape the heat. Another problem? Public pools are where a lot of people learn how to swim. Today, nearly 80% of kids in lower income families don't know how to swim well. Data shows thousands of people are on wait lists to learn, and there's no clear solution in sight. Parks and rec departments nationwide say the money problems could be here to stay, and that's connecting the dots.
Hey, buddy, mic check, 1, 2. Can you hear me, Jay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go out and do the weather and the heat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Hi, 1, 2, 3. Right now at 5 o'clock, a former pastor is accused of sex crimes at the.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. To confirm, Kay, I'm between 1 and 2, and Giselle is at touch, correct?
Test, testing 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Sydney.
Hey, mic check, mic check, mic check. Our camera is on, but I'm in the car trying to not be in the heat. Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Do you ever see a sign while you're out and about and it makes you really happy? It happened to me at the Home Depot the other day. I saw this sign at the checkout register. It's warning customers about scammers and their efforts to steal from you. It says you may be a target of fraud if someone has contacted you and requested that you purchase Home Depot gift cards. It also warns customers that gift cards cannot be used for bail money or payments for IRS taxes, utilities, or medical bills. I was so happy when I saw this sign. Here at 2 Wants to Know, we hear from so many people who've been targeted by criminals, requiring them to pay something in gift cards. Before you think that'll never happen to me, think again. Just about every victim we hear from tells us they thought it would never happen to them. I think it should be a requirement for big box stores to post these types of signs at every register. You'd think the big chains like Walmart, Target, Costco, Lowe's, and others would want to post these in their stores so their customers don't become victims. Until then, please know no one will ever require you to use a gift card to pay for anything other than what's in those actual stores. That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5.